Yo, what's up everybody? JohnBParker here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video. Gonna try to continue the series, I don't know, this is the second episode, I guess you could say, of the top champions of passive abilities. And this time we're gonna do the epics, and since there's much better epics than there is rares, we're not doing top 5, we're gonna do top 10. So today we're gonna do the top 10 epic champion passive abilities. And before I get into the list, I need to throw out a reminder that if you are new to my channel, would you do me that favor and hit that subscribe button? That would be fantastic. Don't hit that notification button. If you're annoyed by notifications, you don't have to hit the notification button, that's fine. But just hit that sub button, that would help me out a ton. And hey, if you happen to enjoy the video, that little thumbs up button works really well. Helps out my channel, helps me, give me the motivation to keep putting out the content, and I would really appreciate it. So thank you. Alright, so let's get into the list here. Top 10 epic champions with the top 10 epic passive abilities. And I have a few honorable mentions here that didn't quite make the top 10, I don't think. And so we'll just run over them really quick. First one going to be Genbo the Dishonored. His passive ability he's immune to decreased attack debuffs. He will ignore unkillables when he's under an increased attack. So he's basically a counter in the arena for like Leorius or anybody wearing Swift Parry or Skullcrown. So that's the first honorable mention. The second honorable mention is going to be Seeker. Seeker is an amazing champion and his passive is fantastic, but it's really only going to be good, I would say, in the arena. But he doesn't quite make the top 10 for this, you know. So whenever he gets hit with a crit, puts increased defense on all allies, and he heals himself by 20%. Really good for defense-based arena teams like Go Second Team. So another honorable mention is going to be Dark Hayne. 2 passives. This is, it will instantly remove any freeze debuffs on herself, replaces them with a whole bunch of stuff, and then whenever anybody tries to freeze her or anybody in your team, you will automatically proc her A2, which is an AoE. Does a lot of damage. Didn't quite make the list. And then the last honorable mention we have here is going to be from the Lizards, and that's going to be Jareg. Jareg's passive is pretty good. Places a continuous heal on an ally whenever they lose 20% of their HP. This is actually really good, but it's just a little too situational, and it also relies on that person not getting killed to actually be a thing. So that's why he's an honorable mention and didn't make the top 10. So now into the top 10. This is not going to be in any particular order. I don't have it 1 through 10. So we're just going to go with the list. I have a list of 10, and that's what we're going to go with here. So starting off in the Undead Hordes, one of my favorite champions here, it's going to be Vogoth. Vogoth's got a double passive. So when Vogoth gets attacked, we'll place a leech on the attacker for 2 turns. Excellent. If they're under provoke, also has a 70 or 100% when book chance of increasing the cooldown of a random skill on the attacker by 2 turns. Really nice. The main passive though is whenever this champion is attacked, all allies get 50% of that damage as heals. Amazing. Anywhere in the game. That's Vogoth. Vogoth is fantastic everywhere. Number 2 on my list from the Orcs is going to be another one of my favorite champions, Vrask. Simple kit, simple passive, but it's so amazing. So, heals all allies by 10% of his max HP whenever he inflicts a critical hit. Well, all you gotta do is build him with a 100% crit rate. Who cares about his damage? Doesn't matter how much damage he does. He will heal by the exact same amount every single time as long as he gets a crit, and it's all allies. And his A1 fills his turn meter by 20% if the attack is critical. You're gonna get him with crit, so he's gonna get more turns. Perfect for Relentless or any gear that's going to give him extra turns. Third champion on my list here. Let's see, Night Revenants. Go into Night Revenants. Another fantastic champion. Oh, they're all fantastic, but I'm going to keep saying that. Doom Priest. Her passive is so good that it basically makes her rest of her kit is trash. She is a trash champion. She is bottom tier. But because of this passive, she becomes almost S+ tier top 10 epic in the game. So, heals all allies by 7.5% of their max HP. It removes one random debuff from them at the start of this champion's turn. It doesn't sound like a lot, but 7.5% of your HP adds up. Over time, it adds up. And then removing of the random debuff allows you to build clan boss teams. It allows you to use faction wars. Basically, any content in the game, this champion is perfect for. Because of this removing of the random debuff at the start of the champion's turn, she can't get stunned essentially if that's the only debuff she has. So, next on the list, we're going to go with one of the best damage dealers in the game. I do not have him. One of my most wanted champions in this game, Geomancer. Everybody should know Geomancer. If you don't, here you go. Geomancer places an HP burn and a weaken on a 100% clip on a single target. Well, his passive will decrease the damage all allies receive by 15%, deflects that damage onto each enemy under an HP burn debuff placed by him. Multiple champions, whatever, only one will activate. Whenever he's attacked, it will deflect 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of target's max HP. He's got a built-in Giant Slayer proc. This does so much damage. So not only does he place a burn, which does damage itself, whenever he gets hit, he will decrease the damage everybody receives, and then he will reflect that damage back onto the attacker and potentially get Giant Slayer procs. This is insane. He does so much damage. He's a boss killer. Perfect for clan boss, perfect for almost any boss in Doom Tower, with the exception of, I want to say, Magma Dragon, because you don't want burns on the Magma Dragon. But this guy is just a beast. Excellent passive ability. He's really the best DPSer with the passive as far as I've noticed. All right, next champion. We're going back to Night Revenants, actually. We should just take care of all the Night Revs. I think I have a few here. So, Skullcrown. Skullcrown's got a couple passives. This one is really only available when you play her with Sinesha, which is not a bad idea. But it's a revive when she gets killed. It's basically like a revive on death if Sinesha's on the same team. But this is the passive everybody knows her for. Whenever her HP drops below 20%, she will get an unkillable buff. Makes her very annoying in the arena. Makes her very useful in faction wars. Any content you need. She can also campaign farm because she's got these two. But the passive is really what makes her top tier as far as an arena champion. And the aura as well at the same time. So, next champion in the list. That's actually it for the Night Revs. Next champion in the list, I believe, is a orc, I want to say. No, but there is an orc here. Sandlesh Survivor. Her passive is amazing as well. Ally protection on allies for 2 turns. When an ally's HP drops below 50%, anybody's HP drops below 50%, boom, this procs. Sandlesh gets a block damage, and all of your other allies get an ally protection. This keeps people alive, gives you a chance to go, mostly in the arena, but this can proc in any content in the game. It's amazing. It's really, really good. Ally protection is one of those buffs that is trying to get traction out there, but people don't necessarily understand it because it's kind of just in the background. It doesn't really show up on the forefront of this is why I won, but this basically might as well be a heal, to be honest. This is 50% damage mitigation essentially for your whole team because she's got a block damage. So, excellent champion. She's got a defense in all battles aura. Fantastic. Okay, we're going to Barbs. I believe it's in Barbs. There she is. Sky Touched Shaman. What a cool look on this champion. Amazing. Her passive here damages herself by 10%. You're like, what? That's not good. Well, let's see here. It heals all allies except this champion, equal to half of the lost HP. So essentially every turn, and then it does a couple of other things that may or may not hinder her. But basically every time Sky Touch Shaman gets a turn, 5% of her HP goes out as heals. She doesn't have to crit. She doesn't have to do anything. It just happens. She loses 10% HP. and then half of that, which is 5%, goes out as heals. Put her at 100% or 100k HP, and every turn you guys are getting up a whole bunch of heals. It's insane. She is probably the second best healer in the game. She's the best healer as far as epics go, I believe. Just based off of this ability. And it's one of those things that a lot of people don't really understand because it's in the background. You don't really see it too much. But run a Sky Touch Shaman on a dungeon or in the arena or something like that. Your team won't die. It's amazing. It's pretty crazy. Alright. We do have one more Night Revs. The Queen of Night Revs. Rector Draft. This passive is amazing. Whenever an ally under a Veil or Perfect Veil gets a turn, they get a heal for 10% of their max HP. Also increases the resistance of allies by 50 if they're under a Veil or a Perfect Veil. This is amazing. And she does Veils, Perfect Veils all the time. So here's a single target revive with a Perfect Veil. Here's a heal, and then everybody gets a Perfect Veil or a continuous heal. She's got a resistance and aura in this. She's just... A lot of these passives are going to be heals, but that's kind of how it works. You know, most of the passives are heals. Most of the best passives are heals because I feel like keeping you alive is the best thing. So, that's Rector Drath. Run her in any content you want. She basically is the reason why I won Night Revs Faction Wars. Amazing champion. Alright, I think we have 2 left. We're going to go to Obrin Tribes. Skull Crusher. This guy is amazing. People love this guy. He's got the counterattack. He's got the AoE counterattack, right? One of 3 champions in the game. I'm surprised they haven't added another one. But his passive is very underrated. Most people don't know this. Increased duration of all debuffs on him by 1 turn. This is like a Doom Priest-esque. It's crazy. This guy can take a stun. This guy can have 12 debuffs on him at one time. If they're on 1 turn, if they only have 1 turn, gone. They're gone, and he gets to go. Very, very clutch champion. You can use him in any kind of content, and this passive will make sure that he always gets to go. This passive will make sure that he can be your stun target. He can do all kinds of things for clan boss. All right, last one is probably the top. I would say probably the top passive in the entire game for epics. And I didn't save her for last on purpose, and I don't have her. Godseeker and Neri. She's right up there. She's right up there with Sky Touched as far as best healers in the game, but she's a better champion than Sky Touched. And this passive is the reason. Increases the amount of healing all allies receive by 10%. It's not damage mitigation. It's like Duchess. It's not damage going out like Battle Khazar. This is just straight up, the amount of healing you get is increased by 10%, just passively. Throw in the fact that this, on a 4-turn cooldown when you book it, if an ally is about to get killed by a fatal hit, preempts it, puts a revive on death, that person will die, and then they'll automatically revive because they just revived on death. Holy cow! She is so good. You take Godseeker and you pair her with any of the other healing champions I just mentioned, Vogoth, Vrask, Doom Priest, Sky Touch, Rector, any of those champions, you basically pair her and they become better champions because they're with her. And she's also got a few heals, stuff like this, heals all allies. She's also got a revive. So the passive is amazing. She will keep you guys alive. She'll keep you running, and it's all in the background. You don't even notice it. A lot of people know Vogoth. A lot of people know Vrask. A lot of people know Doom Priest and Geomancer. Not a lot of people realize how good Godseeker is. She can't be really replaced. So if we were going to go 10 to 1 or 1 to 10, I would probably put Godseeker as my number 1 epic champion in the game. Passive ability. The number 1 passive ability from an epic champion. I would probably put it as Godseeker. So, alright. That's my list. Let me know down in the comments if you agree or disagree, or if I left anybody off, let me know. That's going to be it for the video. I appreciate you guys all so much. Hit that like button if you liked the video. I know I rambled quite a bit, but I don't care. That's what I do. If you want to check me out on Twitch, this is where we come up with these ideas, and this is where we hash them out. This is where I even record the videos. Twitch.com/JohnBParker. I appreciate you guys. Have yourselves a great day. Love you all. Peace.